Gator O'Brien here with us from Darby O'Brien Creative Agency in South Hadley. Gator, thanks for taking the time.
Of course.
Colin Smith here. We went to New York City with Mr. Gator, didn't we? It was fun.
Almost saw Tiger Woods.
Almost saw Tiger Woods.
You need to do that again.
We did that again. Yeah, we learned.
Yeah, too well.
We parked in the parking lot on the shuttle over to the golf tournament. Tiger Woods.
Yep.
But
I'd say we planned a Yankee trip, but there's no guarantees there.
No. Well, we're recording this on March 24th. The coronavirus has hit. Everybody's staying at home. Gators kids are going crazy everywhere. Dogs are barking. Same thing here with kids and whatnot. Gators is the creative director at Darby O'Brien Marketing Agency. And Gator, a couple of just questions before we get into just more Yankees talk and whatever else. Marketing in this environment's got to be majorly challenging. I mean, you can't get in the office to record things and do things and print. I mean, what kind of challenges do you see out there?
Well, I think we mostly see the challenges that everything is shut down. Whether it be businesses, daycares. So everyone is kind of out of their comfort zone as far as their day-to-day life is concerned. Some of our restaurant clients are obviously now just doing takeout, so we had to create different campaigns and menus around that and communicate that out to the people. And that's really almost been more in the marketing side of things of like it almost more like what we do with nonprofits, where the restaurants are being hit so hard, you have to just communicate. You support them now. It's places you want to be around in 2 or 3 or weeks or 2 months. God willing, it doesn't go that long. But they need your help now. So it's a completely different kind of sell than it has ever been in the past.
But it's being transparent, though, right? It's like
absolutely.
We're being shut down. We need your help. Like,
we're still going to give you a quality product. You're not going to get the ambiance of sitting in the restaurant. And I know the one restaurant in particular in South Hadley, we were working with them on, and they had a great weekend. So now it's like, okay, we got through the first weekend. Now let's keep the energy going, keep people continuing to come. So it's not just like, oh, I feel like I did it once. Like, cause they're going to need people to support them more than just once to get through all of
it. That message, are they addressing the fears of like, I don't want to like get takeout because I want to limit my exposure to like everybody in the world, you know? Like, I don't want to get the coronavirus. I don't want to let it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that either you're comfortable doing it or you're not comfortable doing it. You know, I don't think that people are, it's going to be hard to convince people otherwise. I think these are people who know that they're just going to be at home with their family, whatever it might be. There might be, most of the takeout to go stuff is soft stuff that usually the virus doesn't stay on very long from what I've been reading. So I think that is just like, they're sanitizing the hell out of everything, but so is everybody, you know. It's mostly just a message of good food when you're at home, and help us keep the doors open, keep some people employed, whether it be line cooks or runners who are bringing the food out, because the bartenders and the waitresses and all those people are out of jobs.
Now, you do a lot of business with nonprofits too, right? So like the events business has to be like decimated.
Oh, it's gone.
And so I've seen some virtual, I mean, I sit on the board of Big Brothers Big Sisters in Hampshire County, and they're doing like, we're trying to do what we can for our run that's in April. Thanks, buddy. Oh, I got a picture drone for you. Look at that. Good job, Colin. We're trying to do like this virtual run thing where you run your 10K or 5K or something at your house, and it's still in the benefit of Big Brothers Big Sisters. I mean, innovating that way and stuff. I mean, have you seen any other creative?
Well, we do a lot of work with, besides nonprofits, we have a good assisted living and retirement community business, which is, pretty much just like a real estate sale in a lot of ways. It's real estate / healthcare. But right now they're all on absolutely huge microscope because it's the high risk, high vulnerability. So instead of doing any kind of tour, we're doing all virtual tours. So we're still able to get people in the door. They've actually had a couple of decent weeks with people coming in, and also kind of giving, right now we're going more with the the safety of being in those places versus not, because it's so that's one thing. I talked to someone the other day who said they were going to try to do a virtual bowling event, which I don't know how that would work.
Virtual bowling. Oh, they had. we had one. I got a company benefit. You're going to see this twice if you watch these videos, because I was talking about Michael and Nikki about this. Oh, dogs are there.
Yeah.
We got a benefits company like Guardian who got these emails about company benefits, and they do our dental insurance for my company. And they're offering teleservices. They will now cover dentists seeing my teeth remotely. I'm like, how do you? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I gotta get clean that way.
The retirement communities were able to stop on a dime and already do a virtual tour of their spaces. They already have something to work.
Well, it's just doing like what we're doing. It's not high tech. It's FaceTime. You're just walking people around saying, this is our dining area. This is what the courtyard looks like. You know, it's just trying to make do with everything they possibly can. And I noticed I was on a call earlier today with somebody who was saying that, you know, some of the nonprofits, like I said, we work with MHA, and they're doing what they call telewell. So they're mental health associates. So to keep people in front of the caregivers they need, they're doing FaceTiming or through iPad or through whatever it might be. So they're still meeting with their clientele through screens. So that the people who have some sort of mental health issues are still being cared for, even though it's not in person. So we're putting all that stuff out there as much as we possibly can, so people don't feel alone or feel completely isolated by not being able to go to the normal appointments.
It's crazy. I mean, it's a crazy time right now, and everybody's just figuring out as is. I got home 3 o'clock yesterday and just set up my command center at the house and Zoom meetings all day long. Now, how do we do this? Now, after we're done with work, after 5 o'clock, how do we figure out how to do a virtual friends get together to toast a glass of wine after a hard day's work? Did that work for you?
That I've seen a lot of people. They're doing that living room app. Have you seen that?
No.
Is it living room? What's it? It's House Party. It's called House Party.
House Party. Okay, I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, and people are getting together because me being a Holyoke boy and St. Patrick's Day passing and us shutting down everything. I didn't do it, but I saw many people on my social media feed having like them all holding up glasses together, toasting to St. Patrick's Day and Parade Day weekend and all that stuff that they couldn't do together. So I think House Party is what I've seen is one of the big ones. And it's even like just a FaceTime app, you can have about 5 or 6 different people in there in a FaceTime at a time.
Do you think with social distancing and this whole thing going on, do you think this changes the landscape of marketing for a lot? I think, you know, people working from home will start to get used to the efficiency of using video conference technology and like almost prefer it so I can see a lot more people in a short period of time. Yeah. And then marketing within a free like Zoom versus a paid for Zoom or something like, do you think that changes the landscape forever?
I think it's going to be hard to get people immediately comfortable to go to any sort of event marketing. I think people are going to be more standoffish when it comes to that. I do think if I was in the real estate business, I'd be a little scared because I think people are going to realize how much you can get away with not having a big office. You can have a small office as a center and you meet there in the morning or whatever you might do, and how much of it can be done remotely. If you have little kids like me, working from home can be a holy hell nightmare, but it's still, in its way, I've been wearing the same pajama pants all day.
Yeah, you know? Like I said, business up top, party downstairs right now. Yeah. Sweats and some slippers on.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on too.
I think everybody.
I can get used to that. I'll tell you that.
I had that in the office the other day. We locked the door and I had a collared shirt on, sweatpants on.
Yeah.
Full complete disclosure, but
yeah.
That's the key. I do have pants on. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen. I honestly said so. Again, another thing. I know you want to talk somewhat about the B2B side of things.
Yeah,
There was some businesses. Like I said, one of my biggest clients is in the hand dryer business, and one of their biggest hiccups is finding time to make the installation. So they do a lot of work in schools. They do a lot of work in restaurants. So the ones that are actually taking this downtime to upgrade we're selling them with that message. Now's the time to upgrade, come back better than ever. I mean, and that's like a simple upgrade that, well, in the end, not that they're going to lose the paper towel cost, but also going to lose, if there is this continued run on paper towels, there's a perfect alternative. Just pop that thing on the wall and you don't have to worry about it. So it's kind of trying to taking some of that shortage messaging and put it out there in a way that makes sense to people and is digestible. So.
Yeah. There's grocery stores and restaurants and stuff that like food, it's like we're down to the minimum, essential businesses are open. So if you're essential, you're open, and like you realize, okay, what I usually spend money on or a lot of money on, it's not that essential. And then the rest of, you need grocery stores and stuff to be open. So now, are there other, like you mentioned, like that app for parties at your house, or what was that? There was a
house party.
Are there other technologies and stuff that now salespeople are at home, they're working from home, they have maybe a bit more time to look into different social media and marketing programs and stuff? Any technology that you can think of top of mind that they should be investigating for themselves in their sales activity?
It really varies from business to business. We have seen this in our retirement communities and our assisted living communities that are being respectful, but still trying to be playful with their social media accounts. They've been getting great response. One in Chicopee that actually was got a piece in the paper on Sunday covering it, saying they're still living the life, they're having fun with what they're doing. But really, that's the message that I've been stressing with people is that you want to be positive, but you don't want to be careless. It's going to be a really delicate balance because it changes so much every day. So that if you put out something now saying, "Oh, don't worry about we're drinking Coronas," that's great, except for if 2 weeks from now it gets much worse.
This is recorded. This is why. This is great. I was waiting for one of those. That's
right. It's floating under his
underpants. Sounds like Gator's gonna have to wrap up soon. We've got other business to take care of. But before we go, I want to say thanks, man. I really do appreciate it. I know we have a personal friendship, but on the business side, we're all trying to service, some of the clientele in Western Mass and beyond. And I'm just trying to create as much value as possible by interviewing other service providers and what to do and how they're doing it. Like you said, striking a delicate balance between not profiting off of this particular situation, but using the time wisely and out of it would be a delicate balance. So.
Yeah, because I had a phone call earlier today said it was something that they didn't want it would work out well for us if it comes to fruition. It was a project they've been wanting to do, a branding project they've been doing on a website for a while, and they never had the time. But now, because things are slowed down, they've got the time to do it. Now we've got the capital to do it, so they'll come back stronger afterwards. Because hopefully this thing is done in a few weeks.
Right. Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you. Hopefully the golf season doesn't get cut too short, and we'll be out there soon enough. Thank you to your family too for allowing me to get into the work at home Gator O'Brien experience.
Yeah, that's right. You can thank Clint for being in his pants.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Starting off your day. All right.